Hello, my name is Matthew Kaiser. This is my cultural immersion project for my psychology class, cross-cultural psychology. I am doing my cultural immersion project on the Hmong culture. Um, the Hmong have been in Eau Claire since 1976. I chose the Asian oriented and originated Hmong culture for my project. The civilization was established back in 4000 BC in China. From 1960 to 75, the Hmong actually were fighting a secret war against a communist regime in Laos. The regime actually ended up winning, and they sought to eliminate everybody who was part of the opposition. So originally, the Hmong actually were sponsored by the U.S. government and Kennedy, and unfortunately, they were not supported once the war was over. So the Hmong had to flee from their home country to nearby lands and even as far as America. Where I live in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, we have a very large community of Hmong families. They have been established here since '76, like I said. There are many Hmong-owned businesses, celebrations, and cultural exhibits throughout the area. I wanted to know more about them and better understand my neighbors and fellow citizens. So my research question: what cultural traditions and values are still celebrated today to maintain cultural identity? Now, culture elements and research. Here's what I chose to do to immerse myself in actual Hmong culture. Sample Hmong cuisine and how the food brings them together as a culture. Attend events and research customs and how this helps keep their identity in modern times. Visit the Chippewa Valley Museum for the exhibit on the Hmong culture. Religion and how this relates to social norms among their people. And research the history of their origin and what effects acculturation has had on them. My data collection methods include participant observation, library and online research, and journal entries. The first part I want to go over is my journal experiences. These are a few things that I did over the matter of a month to expose myself to the Hmong culture. First off, this entry here is from March 2nd. I tried a place called Egg Rolls Plus. It's a Hmong-owned Asian restaurant here in town. They carry both Hmong, Vietnamese, Chinese, and other Asian influenced dishes. When I went there, the picture shows actually their egg rolls. They're amazing egg rolls, by the way. They come with a spicy sauce and a more savory sauce. And I figured that was a good start, but I also wanted to be kind of adventurous, so I tried the beef lob, which is a dish of ground beef, cilantro, green onion, rice powder, soy, lettuce, bean sprouts, lime, and rice. Both are really good. The beef lob was extremely tasty. I would definitely order that again. Um, and I was kind of afraid to try something new. But that was like because of my own preconceived notions of the combination not being very good and having a very Western style diet, which is what I've been raised on most of my life. Meat and potatoes. That's pretty much all I've ever eaten. So I'm actually very surprised and happy that I did try something different for once. My next exposure to Hmong food, March 12th, I went to another Hmong owned eatery today called Hmong Thai Restaurant. This is a fusion of both Hmong and Thai cuisine, and they have traditional dishes you can choose from. The one I chose was the angel wings. These are actually deboned chicken wings stuffed with chicken, noodles, carrot, cabbage, spices, and then deep fried. It's unlike any kind of chicken wing I think I've ever had in my entire life. Very savory, a little bit of spice to it, very filling. Positively a great experience with that as well. Um, it's a lot of different things that the Hmong use as far as their food is the unique spices and flavors that they custom into their cooking. And if I hadn't taken a chance to try this out, I probably would still be sticking to burgers and fries every day, which is definitely not good for me. But I definitely, with this experience, have tried other food too, so it's making me expand my palate more, which is a very important thing. On March 14th, I went to a Hmong cultural event. I cannot dance at all, but I went to a local Hmong ball that was being presented at a local community center. This was where they had a Hmong dancing and presentation. Uh, The Hmong dancing is very different from American dancing. American dancing is very kind of loose. It's a very broad term, everything from waltzing to club dancing. The Hmong wear very elaborate dress and actually large amounts of silver necklaces, bracelets, headdresses, and other extravagant jewelry. They make these as signs of like opulence and status in their society, and dancing itself actually incorporates that to work with the heavy accessories that they have on. They have really big movements that they use to keep to the deep drum beats that are being put in the background. This kind of also makes the jewelry ring, so it adds to the actual rhythm and sound of the music. It was very fun experience. Um, I, I don't know if I could ever do that kind of dancing, but I would definitely see that kind of dancing again if it ever came available. Another journal entry for me, March 15th, the Hmong culture in clothing. After seeing the dancing of the Hmong, I was intrigued about the kind of clothing they were wearing and what kind of differences there were between American clothing and Hmong clothing. So American clothing, I'd say, is like t-shirts and jeans, blouses and skirts, the typical thing that people wear in society. Hmong outfits are made of a highly embellished needlework known as paj natab, or flower cloth, that is woven into complicated pleated skirts for the women. Also, the Hmong men wear hats called rooster comb hats, and they have a cross stitch and applique with decorations of beads and coins. The clothing is full of vibrant color and patterns that immediately draw your eyes to them. Uh, Different kinds of Hmong culture do wear different primary colors to separate out their particular subculture. This picture here shows kind of the layout of the outfit itself, the sash, different colors they use. This is kind of a blue, black, pink, yellow combination. Rooster comb hat. Very light clothing, what I could tell. Very comfortable clothing. So that's my journal entries. So I want to discuss the psychology concepts that relate to the Hmong. These are the ones I broke down as far as what actually affects their culture. They are a very collectivist culture. They do deal with acculturation. Cultural identity is very important to them. Intergenerational conflict is something that they have to deal with. And cultural values and traditions are very important to them as well. So the collectivist culture, the Hmong are very collectivist versus Americans are an individualist culture. They the Hmong actually have a strong emphasis on family, kinship, and community. They do maintain close relationships with their elders, and also celebrations like birth, marriage, and death are celebrated with sacred rituals and traditions. The difference in this is American culture seems to put a more of a center on being individuals, self, the self being your own person, accomplishments. The Hmong actually rely on their family and friends to take care of each other. Now, acculturation, cultural identity, intergenerational conflict. Studies have shown that mental health issues related to prolonged war in their country and resettlement have been a big factor in mental health among the Hmong. So they went through a almost 30-year period of fighting a war against a government that was basically trying to eliminate them. And then they had to, once the war was lost, they had to leave their country. So this has really hurt their culture in a lot of ways. Issues of acculturation, cultural identity, traditional beliefs and practices. Seeking traditional medical interventions and religious beliefs may influence help-seeking behaviors from professional psychological services. The current thinking of mental health, at least in the Eau Claire area here, we have the Eau Claire Hmong Mental Health Conference, actually, that's pictured right here, that is trying to help with acculturation and trying to make therapy and counseling more natural and accessible to the Hmong people so they can help out with these issues they're having. A lot of the problems is the English language barrier, especially among the older Hmong. Um, Intergenerational conflicts come mostly from the younger generation of kids and teens who do know the language pretty well, have mostly known American life, individualist culture. that don't always hold as much of the traditional cultures in respect that they should. The collectivist values relate directly to the acculturation issues. So, like I said, their collectivist culture, going to a culture of individualist like America is a big change and a big adaptation. So it's not always going to be an easy transition for them to learn the language, get new jobs. People here are not as apt to help out as the family and friends of their villages and towns back in their native country. So that's where a lot of the issues have come from as well. Now, cultural values and tradition. The Hmong hold fast traditions and values of their ancestors. They integrate ceremony and celebration into modern culture. Holidays like Moob Day and personal celebrations are focal points for the culture. They have a very this is one of the reasons why with acculturation too that they've held on to a lot of these beliefs and traditions. Even though America has individualist culture, they want to hold on to those celebrations that bring apart family and bring their elders together and bring their kids together and keep a lot of the things that they've unfortunately lost by coming to the country still in their hearts and in their minds. So at the end of my project, my reflection and conclusion, the Hmong are a proud culture that cling to their traditions. It's been very difficult for the Hmong to acclimate to America. They found a home here in Eau Claire with their businesses, their celebrations. They're prided with their own days here, and the community has really accepted them, and it's really great to see. The Hmong are a very specific Asian culture and should not be confused with others. So a lot of people will try to lump Asian as every culture that they see that's of that persuasion. So you have to understand that Hmong are one of those. There's also Laotian, there's Vietnamese, there's Thai, there's Japanese. I mean, there's a plethora of them. So the Hmong deserve the respect and the research to go with their culture as it is specifically theirs. Um, but that's my conclusion. That's my project. I would say that I had a really good time with this project. I had a lot of information that I gained. At first, I was really kind of apprehensive about doing it. I didn't know if I'd be able to immerse myself and actually be comfortable in doing so. And in the beginning, it was difficult. But as I went through the project, I learned more. It definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I think that I'm a better person for having done it. And I really enjoyed it. So thank you very much, and that's all I have.